Imagine a world of feudal lords and their loyal retainers, bound by oaths of fealty and driven by codes of honor. These were not just mere words, but sacred bonds that dictated the lives and actions of these warriors. This was the reality of both medieval Europe and feudal Japan, two distinct worlds separated by vast distances yet sharing a common thread of warrior culture. In these lands, two iconic warrior classes emerged, the knights and the samurai, each with their own unique traditions and fighting styles. These warriors, separated by vast oceans and distinct cultures, nevertheless shared striking similarities in their roles as protectors, enforcers, and symbols of their respective societies. They were the embodiment of their culture's ideals and values. In medieval Europe, knights were the heavily armed backbone of feudal armies, clad in shining armor and mounted on powerful steeds. They often fought on horseback, using their sheer force and momentum to break enemy lines with brutal charges. Their presence on the battlefield was both a tactical advantage and a morale booster for their allies. They served their lords, swore oaths of chivalry, and sought glory in tournaments and battles. These tournaments were not just for sport, but a way to demonstrate their prowess and gain honor. Across the world in the land of the rising sun, the samurai arose as the elite warrior class of feudal Japan. They were not just warriors, but also scholars and poets, embodying the ideal of the cultured warrior. They were skilled swordsmen, archers, and horsemen, mastering various forms of combat to be versatile on the battlefield. Serving their daimyo with unwavering loyalty and adhering to the strict code of Bushido, which emphasized honor, courage, and self-discipline. This code was not just a set of rules, but a way of life that guided their every action. Though separated by vast distances and cultural differences, both the samurai and the knight embodied the ideals of the warrior ethos. They were the paragons of their societies, representing the pinnacle of martial skill and moral integrity. They trained from a young age, mastering the arts of war and adhering to strict codes of conduct that emphasized honor, loyalty, and courage. Their training was rigorous and demanding, shaping them into formidable warriors. But how would these two legendary warrior classes fare against each other in a hypothetical showdown? Who would emerge victorious? This question has fascinated historians and enthusiasts alike, sparking countless debates and discussions. The answer perhaps lies not just in their combat skills, but in their philosophies and the values they upheld. Both the samurai and the knight were bound by strict codes of conduct that dictated their actions both on and off the battlefield. These codes were not just rules, but a way of life, deeply ingrained in their identities and daily practices. These codes, Bushido for the samurai and chivalry for the knight, emphasized honor, loyalty, and courage, shaping their worldview and influencing their every decision. They were more than mere guidelines. They were the very essence of what it meant to be a warrior in their respective cultures. The samurai lived by the Bushido, meaning the way of the warrior. This code was a comprehensive guide to living a life of honor and integrity, encompassing not just martial skills, but also wisdom, benevolence, and sincerity. This unwritten code emphasized loyalty to one's lord, martial prowess, and a willingness to die an honorable death, rather than face shame. It was a holistic approach to life, demanding mental, spiritual, and physical discipline. Knights, on the other hand, followed the code of chivalry, which stressed courage in battle, loyalty to one's lord and god, and courtesy towards women. This code was a blend of martial, religious, and social duties, creating a well-rounded ideal of knighthood. This code evolved over time, incorporating elements of courtly love and religious piety. It was not static, but adapted to the changing social and cultural landscapes of medieval Europe. While both codes emphasized honor and loyalty, there were key differences. Bushido was more focused on the warrior's internal state and personal honor, while chivalry included a broader social component, emphasizing the knight's role in society. Bushido placed a greater emphasis on self-sacrifice and facing death with composure, while chivalry encouraged mercy towards the defeated and protection of the innocent. These differences highlight the unique cultural context in which these warriors lived and fought, each code reflecting the values and priorities of their respective societies. The samurai and the knight were walking arsenals, clad in armor that was both functional and symbolic. Their armor was not just protection, it was a testament to their status and skill. They wielded a variety of weapons designed to both protect and kill, each meticulously crafted to serve a specific purpose on the battlefield. Their choice of weaponry and armor reflected their respective cultures and battlefield roles, showcasing the unique martial philosophies of the East and West. The samurai were masters of the sword, particularly the katana, a curved, single-edged sword renowned for its sharpness and cutting power. This weapon was not just a tool of war, but a symbol of the samurai's soul. They also wielded the wakizashi, a shorter sword often used in close combat or as a backup weapon, and the yumi, a powerful longbow that required great skill and strength to use effectively. Knights, on the other hand, favored the broadsword, a versatile weapon suitable for both cutting and thrusting. This weapon was a staple of medieval European combat. They also used lances for couched charges, delivering devastating blows from horseback, and maces for crushing blows that could penetrate armor, and battle axes for cleaving through enemy lines, making them formidable opponents in any melee.